Good day, girls. Welcome to the class. Today we'll be doing Science 2, Chapter 5, Towards Green Energy. We will be doing this chapter in 3 parts. Today we will do the first part of the chapter. Topics to be covered in this: use of various energy source, generation of electrical energy, process of generation of electricity and environment. Now, in this chapter 5, from page 47, can you recall and make a table? Something like this is there on page 47 of your textbook, which is deleted. We start with the first part, energy and use of energy. Now you must know what is the meaning and definition of energy. Energy is a stored ability or capacity of a body to do work. Hence, in order to carry out work, we require energy. In modern civilization, energy has become an important part of our life. It has become a primary need along with food, clothing and shelter. We need a different type of energy to do different types of work. We require electrical energy for all the electrical appliances like washing machine, mixer, the oven. We require electrical energy. We require chemical energy for cooking food. We require even heat energy for cooking food. The energy required to perform mechanical work is called mechanical energy. It is of two types, namely potential energy and kinetic energy. Like this, we have different types of energy: mechanical energy, chemical energy, sound energy, heat energy, solar energy, light energy, like that, innumerable type of energy. But how do we get these forms of energy? Now you have learned that energy can be converted from one form to another form. Different source of energy are used to different form of energy necessary for us. In the previous standard we have learned about energy, the source of energy and the various concepts related to them. Here we are going to learn about the various sources that are now used for the generation of electrical energy. Now you have learned about thermal power station, hydroelectric power station, nuclear power station. In all these power stations you will see that we generate electrical energy. Okay, but what is the main source? How are you getting in thermal power station? What are you using as your raw material to get electrical energy? Which form of energy is used to generate electrical energy? In the nuclear power plant, which form of energy is used to get electrical energy? So here we are going to do that in detail. So basically here we will learn about various sources that are now used for generation of electrical energy. In all the past plant, we are not creating or manufacturing electricity. It is only the conversion from one form to another form. So in this chapter we are going to see the methods that are used, the scientific principles that are used, the advantage and disadvantage of these methods, and we will also be learning about what is green energy. Okay, now the generation of electrical energy. Most of the electrical power plants are based on the principle of electromagnetic induction invented by Michael Faraday. According to this principle, whenever magnetic field around a conductor changes, a potential difference is generated across the conductor. Let me try to explain this. Okay, now you have learned that whenever there is a magnetic field is created around it. Okay, this magnetic field is created around, and when you keep a conductor, let us say AB as a conductor, and let us connect this conductor to a voltmeter, okay, which will, the deflection will tell or calculate the potential difference. When a conductor AB and the magnet are stationary, nothing will happen. You will not see the deflection. Okay, but the moment you try to change the position of the conductor AB, or you try to change the position of the magnet, you keep moving it, you rotate it or move it to your left and right. So when you keep changing the position of the magnet or you change the position of the conductor, you will see there is a deflection in the voltmeter. A deflection in the voltmeter tells that there is an electric current, a potential difference is created, and therefore there is an electric current. This is nothing but we can say electromagnetic induction. Okay, when the conductor and the magnet both are stationary, there is no potential difference created. There is no magnetic change in magnetic. Remember, you need to have a change in magnetic field. If a magnet is stationary, the field is also stationary. For a potential difference to be created, a change in magnetic field has to be done. For that, one of the two, it can be done in one of the two ways. I repeat, the field around a conductor can be changed in two ways. Either you keep the conductor stationary and the magnet moving, or you keep the magnet stationary and keep the conductor moving. One of the two has to take place. If the conductor and magnet both are stationary, a magnetic field will be there, but there won't be a change in magnetic field, there won't be a potential difference created. So for a potential difference to be created, a change in the magnetic field has to be there. I repeat, wherever there is a magnet, there will be a magnetic field. But for a potential difference to be created, there has to be a change in the magnetic field. For that, one of these two things should happen. The conductor is stationary, magnet is moving, or the magnet to be kept stationary and the conductor to be moved. Thus, we can conclude that in both the cases, a magnetic field around the conductor changes. So, what is important here is the magnetic field is changes. And in both the case, what happened? The potential difference is created. So, when a potential difference is created, then we can say it can generate electricity. This electric power generation, we can see this with the help of another diagram over here. Okay, now this method of inducing current is known as electromagnetic induction. That means you're generating current over here. So you see a combination of a magnet over here, and then you can see a coil. This is nothing but a conductor in the form of a coil. This coil is connected to a voltmeter. Okay, there is a deflection. There is a system made over here at the center of the magnet. You can see when you turn this rod, the magnet will change. If the magnet doesn't change, the magnet field will remain constant. If the field is constant, there won't be potential difference, and then there won't be current. Okay, so a system has to be made in such a way that the magnet keeps on rotating, so it continuously creates a change in the magnetic field, which will then induce current. This arrangement we can call it as a generator. We can call this arrangement as a generator. So generator is nothing but will have a conductor and a magnet inside. The electric power generating machine based on this principle is called as an electric generator. Okay, now here learn this definition. The electric power generating machine based on this principle is called electric generator. So what is generator? If you can visualize in your mind, a generator is nothing but inside it should have a conductor and it should have a magnet, and that magnet should keep rotating. Now here we have a flow chart showing generation of electrical energy. Let us go in the reverse order. A generator always produces electrical energy. When there is a power cut in a building or in the wedding, always see there is a generator in case of emergency. In Mumbai we don't face such problems, but if you go to your village, you must have seen people having a generator there, or any wedding taking place where large gathering is there, you will always see a generator to be used in case of emergency. So whenever there is a cut of electricity, you will use a generator. So generator basically is what we can see. Generator gives electrical energy. So electrical energy can be produced with the help of a generator. Now how does a generator work? I told you, a generator is nothing but a combination of a magnet and a conductor. Okay, but the magnet has to move. To make the magnet move, we need a turbine. Okay, so the magnet has to move, and that can be done with the turbine. This figure shows you here a turbine over here. Okay, there is a place in the turbine here. Here in this type of turbine, you can see blades over here. You can see here a high velocity steam falls on the blades of the turbine, and the turbine moves. When the turbine moves, the magnet will move, creating a potential difference. Now every power plant uses a different kind of source to rotate the turbine. So here we have the turbine. The turbine actually rotates the generator, but some form of energy is required to turn the turbine. So the entire chapter is based on this, what energy are we using to turn the turbine. Okay, now every power plant uses different kind of source to rotate the turbine. In thermal and nuclear power plants, steam produced rotates the turbine. In hydroelectric power plants, flowing water is used to rotate turbine, and wind is the medium in a windmill. In order to obtain electricity from a power plant, it is necessary to rotate the turbine. Okay, water is easily available, and when water is heated, steam can be formed. When pressure is applied on steam and allowed to pass through a small opening, we easily obtain kinetic energy. Okay, so the kinetic energy of the steam helps to rotate the turbine easily, and that also can be reused. So when steam falls on it, so you can use steam over here, we can use water, both flowing under high pressure, it falls on the turbine. So flowing steam and flowing water will have kinetic energy. That energy is utilized to turn the turbine. When the turbine rotates, it will have kinetic energy, which in turns rotates the magnet in the generator. So when the generator rotates, it produces electrical energy. Now here again we say steam is used, which under high pressure. So we require a proper energy source to run the turbine. Do you understand? So in this chapter we are going to study about which energy are we using. So we are going to study this part. In all the power plant, this part you will find common. You will find turbine, you will find generator, you will find. So this part will be common. What differs is the energy that we use over here to turn the turbine. So let us revise once again. In order to generate electricity, or we can say thus to generate electricity based on the principle of electromagnetic induction, we need a generator. To rotate the generator, we need a turbine. And to drive the turbine, we need an energy source. So based on which type of energy is used, again based on which type of energy is used to rotate the turbine, there are different types of power generating stations. The design of the turbine used in different type of power station is also different. Okay, so we learned the first thermal power station. Okay, now here we have a flow chart showing energy generation of electrical energy using thermal energy, and again you have another flow chart based on thermal, that is energy transformation in thermal power plant. In the exam they may ask you the flow chart. Be careful which one they are asking. Now the upper one is a flow chart showing generation of electrical energy using thermal energy. The lower one is the energy transformation that is taking place in thermal power plant. So you have these two things, you have to learn it very nicely. Okay, now in this, what is happening in this turbine is rotated using the steam. Okay, now here we have, now here you can see we are using coal. Coal is a fossil fuel. Okay, it contains chemical energy. You know the formation of fossil fuel, it takes years to form fossil fuel. So we are using coal over here, we are using the heat energy or the chemical energy, I can say. Okay, and water is kept in this system. There is a tank filled with water. The chemical energy of the coal is used to boil the water. When the water starts boiling, it gives steam. Okay, this steam is made to flow under high pressure and temperature and makes the turbine to rotate. So the steam is used to to move the turbine. Then it turns the generator, and the generator gives electrical energy. Once the steam falls on the turbine, it condenses back to water and it moves to the boiler. Okay, and so this process continues. If you are going to see this in the form of a flow chart for energy transformation, it is we are using the chemical energy in the coal. Okay, then it gets converted to thermal energy because we are heating the water. Then the steam is produced, which moves under high pressure. So we can say the steam has got kinetic energy. It turns the turbine, moving turbine or the rotating turbine also has electrical energy, which in turns get converted into electrical energy. So you can see the transformation. So in a thermal power plant, you can say chemical energy here gets converted into electrical energy. So in a thermal power station, chemical energy is converted to electrical energy. Now this part over here, this is the actually schematic of the thermal power plant. Okay, here you can see there is a boiler over here, then you have the pump over here, then you have the water. After when it gets converted into steam, it goes to the cooling tower, gets converted back into water, goes over here. But whole this part is also cancelled in page 47. Okay, then let's think after that, and the whole page and use of ICT is also cancelled over here. Okay, so I hope you have understood this part. Since thermal energy here, okay, so you can say thermal energy is used to generate electrical energy. Such power plants are called as thermal power plants. In thermal power plant, the chemical energy in the coal is converted to electrical energy through several steps. Okay, so you can see the several steps over here. So ultimately chemical energy is converted to electrical energy. And even here the textbook shows the problem that arises due to this way. So in thermal power station there are several problems. Burning, when you burn coal, it gives lot of poisonous gases like carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, which are also very harmful. It gives us particles like soot, which are also very harmful. Now we are using coal. The reserve of coal is very limited. They say hardly maybe for next 200 or 300 years we have coal. So all these are the problems using coal as a raw material for producing electricity. But this part also is cancelled for the exam. Okay, so this slide what I am showing problems, which is there on page 50, is cancelled, or I can say deleted from the portion. This diagram along with the explanation given down in page 49 is also cancelled. In the next slide, we are going to study about the nuclear power plant and hydroelectric power plant. Okay, so read the lessons, learn the flow charts, and do the question answers. Thank you.